So we decided that if at the Heritage Foundation we had some of the most thoughtful, brightest scholars in the country, that we should put them to work on solving this problem. How, in fact, do we save lives and we save livelihoods? So they went to work immediately and came up with a 5-phase plan that we are recommending to the president, to governors, and to mayors to help get this country back on track.
You know, these are folks who they have been disadvantaged by the school systems they've been forced to go to. They have been disadvantaged by the fact they come from communities which now we see a 75% of fatherless homes. And I would argue liberal public policies have driven much of that. The disadvantage we see in our school systems is because we force people to go to the school where they're based on their zip code. We have used welfare programs and public housing and a lot of bad incentives to frankly destroy many of the African-American families and structures in this country.
Designating them as a domestic terrorist doesn't have any teeth to it, simply because Congress, when they defined domestic terrorism, defined it as acts dangerous to human life that are in violation of other criminal laws at the state or federal level designed to influence government policy. And so there's no criminal sanction attached to that. Mm-hmm. So you're never going to be charged with domestic terrorism on a charge sheet or an indictment. You're going to be charged with underlying crimes, which is what we're seeing playing out on TV every night.
But the Federal Anti-Riot Act is aimed at individuals who actually are traveling, for example, across state lines to organize violence. And the best example of this is it was successfully used to prosecute 3 white supremacists who traveled from California to Virginia and the University of Virginia in 2017 to organize violence at the protests that were there. This is really, really important. I don't think people realized what a scandal this is. Look, our intelligence capabilities are very powerful. They're supposed to be used for counterintelligence purposes to protect us from foreign enemies. And yet all the unmasking that occurred, particularly by Obama-era officials who have absolutely nothing to do with our intelligence gathering, makes it look as if our intelligence capabilities were used for domestic partisan political spying on the opposition presidential candidate and his staff.
We have many politicians that are really not keeping an eye to the future. They're not considering what this enormous new debt burden is going to mean for future economic growth and how this will impact the next generation.
I mean, the fact that this new national security law is, the resolution is passed, the law will likely come into effect in a couple of months, and I think Hong Kongers are looking at a future that is very much so outside of their control. And Hong Kongers have enjoyed some of the most immense freedom over the last several years. I mean, Heritage's Index of Economic Freedom has ranked Hong Kong as the freest economy in the entire world since the beginning of the index more than 20 years ago, up until this year when it slipped into the second place. But the average Hong Konger enjoys a lot of freedoms, a lot of prosperity. And I think that Beijing, in taking this gamble and essentially, pushing forth a law that will end the one country, two systems,